I remember a few years ago when I felt like the world was crumbling. I was in a bad shape. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I thought I had it all, and I realized I had it not. I struggled to speak up. I struggled to even show up. Then I ran to God. I knew that the only source I had was Him, and He is the maker, the creator of the heavens and the earth. Because He's so mindful of us, so I've heard, so I believed, so I've always trusted, and I went back to Him. Then I realized something powerful, that I wasn't lacking confidence, but I was lacking identity. When I truly started knowing who I am in Christ Jesus, everything shifted. I started learning something. I stopped acting like everyone. I stopped acting with the rhythm of the word. I stopped acting from the perspective of what the word has to offer. I stopped trying to sound like others. And I stopped trying to shrink my thoughts. And I stopped taking permission. This could sound very easy, but I tell you, it was one of the biggest struggles of my life in every areas that I could not even comprehend. I realized that identity in God just shows you who you really are. And you see, many of us live below what God has ordained for us. If the Lord could just open our eyes and show us who really you are. God has called us to be wealthy, to live in abundance. God has called you to be priests and kings in so many nations, but we are so stuck up in that place out of fear, out of the intimidation of the devil. These are things that I struggled with for so long until I found my identity in Christ. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what it is to walk in the full identity of God, not shrinking back, not living the life that the world is expecting you to live, but the life that the Lord has called you, has ordained you to live, because He said that He knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. Knowing my identity did not just heal me, it gave me my voice. And I tell yes of a truth, it gave me my voice. As a child, I grew up being very, very bullied. So there were so many things I was scared to talk about. So the question is, how can the identity of Christ in you unlock your voice? In Ephesians 1 verse 4 and 5 says, He chose us in Him before the foundation of the world. That means we are a chosen generation. And if God has chosen you, boldness comes naturally. Let's break it into 3 clear truths. 1. Identity removes fear. For instance, I used to see things so big. I used to see things that is not in my lane. I couldn't do that. Oh, this is for them. Especially when it has to do with our identity. Because if He can drown you from knowing who you are, you will start playing small. Let's give instances of Esau and Jacob. Now, this is a clear definition of lack of identity. How could a brother give up his own position as a first one to be just because of food? That shows you that there is an identity bridge. Many times we believe that what we want is not achievable. We could go for the small ones. And you see, people know how to leverage on every of your weaknesses, and the devil is always ready to dig in if he sees a place to come. When I found my identity in Christ, my mindset shifted that if the Lord said that I am His child, I walk in the fullness of God. He has given me authority over principalities and powers and over everything under this earth. That means I have authority over everything in any aspect of my life. That was the time I realized that there was nothing I couldn't get if only I could surrender totally to Him. If only I could walk in the fullness and identity of God. Fear strives in where identity is unknown. Where is your identity? Identity gives you authority. Now, I stopped speaking from a place to be accepted and started speaking from the truth. And what is the truth? In your own life, in my own life, because my truth is that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So anything I place my hands to do, I can do it, no matter how difficult it seems. As far as the Lord has led me to doing it, I can do it, because He said He has equipped me with all that I need. So there is nothing too difficult for me to do. It's a mindset, is your identity in Christ Jesus. You have an authority to call forth whatever you want. 3, identity brings clarity. Now, when you know who you are, you know what to say, and you know when to keep silent. This one really gets to me, because I tell you, because I was such a very quiet child, when I found my voice as a growing child, I found myself talking a lot. I didn't even know what I was saying. All I know is that I could just see something and randomly just start yapping around and talking a lot. When I found my identity in Christ, there are things I say and there are things I rather keep silent, because when you know who you are, you don't explain yourself. You don't seek permission to be loved. You don't seek validation to be cared about or to be assessed, because you know who you are. You are a king's child. Let's give an instance. You as a king child, there is a courage and a charisma. There are things you say and the things you don't even think about. You don't explain yourself of being a king's child. It's just like walking into a presence of a crowd of people and wanting to explain, oh, do you know I'm the king's child? There is no need for that, because you are already living it. You look it, you act it. It's your personality that shows it, because you are carrying an identity that moves with clarity. Now, if you ever felt unheard, unsure, it is not because you lack a voice. You may just be discovering who you are in Christ. And if you haven't, today I am inviting you and I'm calling on you to take a time out. Who am I in you? He will reveal Himself to you, because as you grow in the knowledge of God, your voice will grow naturally. God bless you guys.